It's time for Week in Review with History with Sanders for February 6 through February 10. We started off Monday by submitting our homework, and then we went straight into a quick question where I asked you to describe Africa in 3 sentences, basically wanting to figure out what you know beforehand. We then watched this documentary on the last salt caravan of Africa, had a discussion. Then we started our main activity, which was creating a map of Africa that you would be able to use during the unit. Then we finished up with an exit ticket, and for your homework you read about the introduction to early societies in West Africa and completed a learning reflection. We kicked off Tuesday by submitting our homework, and then we added 2 new places to our maps. You added the Empire of Ghana and the Empire of Mali. Next, we watched a presentation that I created on West African geography and early civilizations, and you created a Tumblr post reflecting on that. Then for your homework, you talked about how do and where do cities develop. On Wednesday, you started off by submitting your homework. Then we jumped into an activity where you answered a quick question about African geography zones. Then we watched a BBC documentary on the Lost Kingdoms of Africa, followed by a Socrative discussion on that documentary. Then we took a trip to the British History Museum where you investigated African objects. And for your homework that night, you did your Ghana pre-reading activity. We started off Thursday pre-assessing your knowledge of primary and secondary sources. Then you looped back and watched a BrainPop video on savannas and reviewed West African geography. Next, we did our activity where you learned about primary and secondary sources. We had a Socrative space race and a primary source deep investigation. Friday was all about salt. We started off with a quick question talking about how salt can be as valuable as gold. You described Ghana's silent trade and watched a video on salt mining. Next, you took notes on Kush in North Africa using this amazing video, turned in a link to those notes, and discussed and enjoyed CNN student news. For homework this weekend, I want you to do a new current event and spend some time relaxing. Thank you for joining us on Week in Review.